breath, the compass of life. Breath is the foundation of our existence. It's the very first thing we do when we enter this world, and the last thing we release when we leave. So just connect with that first breath of life. Breath is really our welcome to this world. And it's as well the last thing we do when we leave this world. So there is something really sacred and special about breath. Just like our body, breath is our compass, always present, always guiding. When we pause to contemplate our breath, we begin to witness the full spectrum of our human experience. When we are in love, breath becomes an inspiration, a soft delight, rising through the chest, through the heart. Can you feel that when you are happy? Maybe when you're excited as well, it is a very sharper breath because you are so excited, so happy. When we feel calm and peaceful, our breath is longer, sweet, and soothing. Our heart feels calm when we're feeling calm and serene. But when we are feeling in anger or anxiety, our breath becomes short, erratic, and unsettled. So you can see when we are like angry or anxious, we start, our breath is very short, and there is a lot of pause in our breath, and we are not breathing deeply, and our nervous system start shutting down. So the pattern of our breath mirrors our internal world. The breath is a mirror of our internal world. And how that sits with you. So breath is a mirror of our internal world. And I absolutely love that, because when we think about this, when we feel about this, that breath is our mirror. And when we want to understand what we are feeling, it's just about sitting down with our breath, to listening our breath. And this don't even need to be like a long practice that you need to schedule. This is literally any moment that you become aware of saying, oh, how is my breath right now? And sitting with that. For example, if you are getting triggered by something, or your child sends something that triggers you, or your partner, or a situation, and then you just listen to your breath and you feel, okay, I'm getting impatient here. You can start changing that moment just by becoming aware of your breath, and then breathing deeply. Because when you feel that, if you are inducing that sensation of calming, of the breath slowing down, you're naturally going to start calming your nervous system. So it's automatic. Like, you don't even need to want to feel calm. You literally start breathing calmer and calmer. You're going to become calm naturally. It's just a natural state. So that's something really powerful, because it's something that is for free and that is available to us. And it's just about us start tapping more into this medicine. That's why breathing is a medicine. When we breathe, we are building the foundation of our entire system. With every deep inhale, we are anchoring more of our higher self into the physical body. Start feeling that. What if, when we start inhaling, we start bringing more of our soul in our body? Or we are just becoming more aware. You can put it in that simple way, just saying you are becoming more aware. Because with each breath, you become more present. That's a natural effect of the breath. So we are opening space in our nervous system to receive more light, to receive more sound and more present. If we stop to reflect, breath is sound. Even in silence, breath holds a vibration. Sometimes so subtle it is almost imperceptible to the ears. Yet it flows, it whispers, it sings. When we create sound through voice, singing, or sigh, we are inviting air and breath to move through us, to become medicine, to become nourishment. Breath and sound together recharge and nurture life. And just sitting with that as well. Breath and sound together recharge and nurture life. So with each breath that we are taking, we are literally nourishing our body with oxygen. We are nourishing our organs. We are nourishing our vitality. Once I had an experience of tapping into our higher dimension. I was in this deep state and I suddenly reached this heavenly realm. And when I arrived there, I felt that for the first time in my life, I could actually breathe. It was a very, in a way, weird sensation because I already practiced for many years my breath. But then I realized, wow, it's like in this place, we actually have so much more oxygen and we are breathing so much more oxygen. So in a way, I feel that consciousness is energy and energy is breath. So when deeper is our breath, the more we open our consciousness as well. And I was breathing with so much joy and pleasure, almost as life on earth was breathless, short of breath. And in this place was totally the opposite, was full of it. I really feel that when we start breathing deeper, miracles start to happen. And when we start tapping more into the heavenly, and we start tapping more into the heavenly realms, there are many people experience that they heal themselves through the power of breath. Or you can hear many people that suffering with really deep trauma, that they even mention that even before doing therapy or even before of becoming aware of their emotions, they first start connecting with their breath because it's almost like setting the tone in the nervous system to then be able to process our emotions. That's why breath is really one of the first steps that we take. And that's why even through our practice, I normally will say to you, it is the breath that is weaving the movement and not the opposite way around. Because it is really the breathing it is this thread that is creating the movement. So you can feel that the breath is really the path to movement, the path in our life. And that's why it is the first thing we do when we're born and the last thing we do when we leave this earth, this reality. We can change our life by changing the way we breathe, by observing, softening, and working with the breath. We invite clarity and presence. In Chinese medicine, air is seen as the soul breath, an essence that interplays with all other elements. The lungs are called the receiver of heavenly qi. They are responsible for breathing in the qi of the heavens. So here we have our lungs. Here will count the air in and out when we're talking. So we can see how breath is sound as well. And breath is even sound when coming out of our nostrils and in. So everything is sound, but when we are emitting sound, we are actually breathing as well. So even our speech, that's why when I speak and I'm feeling relaxed, you're gonna feel my breath as a soothing and relaxing as well. because there is a deep interaction between the way that we speak and our breath. And about the mechanic of our breath, and here we can see as the diaphragm is this muscle that we use for breathing. And when you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts and tightens and flattens. So moving down towards your abdomen. This movement allows your chest to expand. So as you can see here, the chest expand and get bigger so we can pull in the air. And then when you breathe out, as you can see here, your diaphragm relaxes and curves back up as your lungs push the air out. So you can see here that some of you might already know about our diaphragm, but there are so many people that never heard about this. And it is funny that we can walk our life without knowing how to breathe. And this is something that I even experienced when I start practicing yoga. I start realizing, wow, I was actually very short breath my whole life. And even being a dancer, nobody told me to actually breathe deeper. The singers are the ones who work very closely with the diaphragm because obviously this will expand their breath capacity, and then this will help obviously with their singing skills. Very good. Okay. Our lungs receive this sacred breath of life. And when we speak, when we share, we are quite literally interacting with ki and prana, the vital force. So breathe deeper, and let your breath become your guide, your anchor, your inspiration, your return to the truth of who you are. Breath weaves our prophecy. It sets the tone of our walk. When we awaken the power of breath, we can carve a sweeter path through life. Microcosmic orbit. When you circulate energy in this loop, up the spine, over the head, and down the front, you awaken, purify, and balance your energy system.